All right, we're live. I love the idea of starting to do college football previews because I think that stuff is timeless. It'll last forever. I got
Yeah,
my
I mean,
baseball picks, but today we got to start getting people ready for football season. That's what it's all about.
it's going to be August before you know it here. We're on the last week of June or July. I wish it was the last week of June. We're on the last week of July and everyone's getting amped up. Week 0 picks. We gave out a couple week 0 picks a couple days ago and we're just going to keep the thing rolling.
So I pretty much have us right now at, I would say, 7-3, 11-6 consensus, all plays so far in baseball. That's pretty good
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Yeah, that's good. Didn't give any picks for
11-6
today.
is good.
Yeah, 11 and 6 is fine. People
No,
will still you're still going to catch
no.
complaints. You're still going to
Daily
catch.
baseball, we gotta. Well, we can't do daily baseball till we get some sponsorships. I don't think it's gonna be hard to do daily until you have sponsors. That's a
Yeah,
grind.
it is, especially with
Baseball's
kids
already a
and
grind.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a. But that's shame on me for not getting my picks in today. But Thursdays, this was a travel day for a lot of teams. So good weekend. I think there's a lot of good weekend series. The pennant race is heating up. Like the standings are they're starting to get pretty tight across the board. I need to look at all of them, but we'll save our baseball picks for later. I think it's I think doing a college football conference preview for every conference is very important. I think a lot of people skip that and they just go right into the season without really warning people about the traps. But I think when you do this and you look at the win loss over unders and you start looking at schedules earlier, you can kind of map out like who you want to play and when instead of waiting until the week of. Of course, things are going to change, but like especially those early weeks, like the first couple weeks of conference play, if you've already done your homework, you can make a lot of money. The lines are usually off until the end of the season. I feel like the bookies get a lot tighter with the lines and they're a lot sharper, but there's a lot of opportunity early on. I think the lines are never really that sharp.
Yeah, I mean, we tracked early last year, came out on fire. I want to say started off first 3 weeks 12 and 6. So that I mean that's fantastic,
It's
fantastic
amazing.
stats for us. Um, I really am excited about Super Contest. I'm excited about our
Yes.
own contest, and I'm ready to just keep this thing rolling.
So in my mind, I was thinking about. I was like, maybe we should go like the worst conferences first to the best and build up to it. But I'll be honest, it's way easier to just go alphabetically. So today will be the ACC conference preview show. I'm not going to ask you to actually have to pick your winner yet because you got to see how the rest of the summer plays out before if you're going to lay a bet on a conference champion future, which is usually something that I think is only really worthwhile if you're betting a ton of cash on it, but it's still a fun thing to project. Um, but the ACC, I honestly, I've been dogging the ACC like for years, like the last few years. But I'm not gonna lie, like ACC and its current state is back. I mean, they got a lot of teams, but I've been trashing the ACC for like 5, 6 years now. Like it's just bad how bad it's gotten. But honestly, like they're back. Like the ACC is legit now.
And the
They're
U is
probably
back
top
as
heavy.
well.
Well, and that's what makes the ACC cool now. Like and there's a couple teams in there that are very very good. There's a couple head coaches that are very very good, and the players are there now. I mean, like the NIL thing's kind of changed because it's gone from like they've been able to kids aren't picking maybe just okay the conference is a little weaker. I'm just gonna go like they you can buy players now. So I think the schools that want to pay, you can bring back ACC football into the picture of Big Ten, Big 12, SEC. Like they're still they're still the fourth probably in there, but they're definitely back. Um, it's 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 interesting though. I wanted to throw this at you. Your mind will be blown. Miami has never won the ACC in football, and they've been in it since I think 2003 or 2004. They've never won the ACC. Isn't
That's
that mind
impressive.
blowing?
Well, if you would have asked me off the top of my head, I would have told you that they won it last year. I mean, I know that they didn't, but if you would have just asked me off the top of my head, I would have told you they won it last year.
Isn't that I saw them? I had to like double take it because that was mind blowing. Because you said like the U is back. I watched. Do you ever watch? I think it's called Coach's Story or Coach's Life on maybe ESPN or NFL
Yeah,
Network or something.
yeah, I've seen that.
I forget what it's called. Maybe Coach's Life. I don't know. But they were doing. ESPN had a couple. I think it was, or maybe it would have been ACC Network to be honest. But they had a couple things out. They did a crystal ball one. But
He's
then
growing on me.
during
He's growing on me.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, he's not. I'm not a fan. But what I am a fan of is they got a guy, and of course I should look up his name. He's the director of. He's like their GM. Have you seen this guy? He used to be, like a student manager for uh Miami way back in the day when Cristobal was like the tight ends coach or something. And I saw him and like now I'm like to your point, I'm back in on the U. Like he was saying, let me look him his name up. I don't want to misspeak, but he was saying like, you used to go to the park in Miami and you go to the playground or whatever, and you're talking to kids about like, who's their favorite college football team, where they want to go to school, like who they want to play for, and kids would be like, oh, I want to go to Florida State, I want to go to here or there, and no kid that they ever went out and did outreach programs with wanted to come to Miami, and now all the kids in Miami want to come to Miami. He's like,
Yeah,
that's what's changed the game. It's really cool.
it's
I'll
important.
find the guy's name, but I mean, there's nothing better than Miami being good, Florida being good, and Florida State being good for college football. Like, if they're all good,
Yeah,
college
it's a good
football's in a
space.
great space.
I agree.
Disappointing that they haven't been. I mean, specifically Florida State has been absolute trash.
Yeah, they got to get it
But
figured out quickly.
well, let's get into it.
If
So
Dion's been any better, he'd be there by now. But that's a
yeah,
story for another day.
yeah, no, I mean it's probably something that people will still talk about, but I don't know if he'll ever be able to be there. To be honest,
Yeah, probably not at this rate.
I
All
think
right, what
this
do
is
we
the
got on
dude's
the
name,
ACC?
Dennis Smith. So when we're going through the ACC, I think that the one thing that I want to kind of throw out there first, like it's easy to pick favorites to win. I think that's favorites to win the conference. I mean, I think everybody can pretty much make educated guesses, but like, who are your favorite? Looking at the teams going into the season, who would you say just off the cuff would be your favorite teams to bet on against the spread? Like obviously we think Miami's going to win double
Yeah,
digit
but
games.
we're
Like
talking.
that's
Yeah,
no
but their
question.
spreads are going to be bigger than other guys. You know who covers for us? I think SMU is going to be great again. Jennings is back. They won 14 games last year. And then you have a quarterback who could be a Heisman candidate depending on the season he has, and the backing they get. I know SMU is, one of those top three teams in the ACC this year. Another team that I'd like to bet against is going to be North Carolina. I don't think it's going to go well for them. I think it's just going to continue to be a disaster. We talked on that a little bit. And then another one that I had written down here is I think I'm going to probably be betting against Stanford again. They have a new head coach again, and it's just not going well out there since Harbaugh and Andrew Luck. So they've been struggling. And one final one is I think Virginia. I think they're a pretty good ATS team. I think they're going to be in tight games. I think they're going to probably win over their number 7.5 games. And that's like another thing we were going to talk about later. But I like Virginia. I think they're going to be tight. They're going to be tough. And, they had a good season last year. I think they'll do it again.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had going into this time last year Virginia making the ACC championship game. I
No.
think when you look at the ACC championship game being Duke and Virginia last year, I mean, I think it's drastically going to be different this year in who we think is going to be making that championship game. But while I believe, like I said, the ACC is actually really good football now, what is disappointing is I looked at I was just kind of looking at this before we got on. And it's like that championship game last year, the ACC championship game, only had 41,000 fans at it. Like I get it that ACC is North Carolina. The game was in Charlotte. It was 39 degrees, and they're playing a championship game outdoors. Do you think? I mean, should Power Five conference championship games even be outdoors anymore with how much is on the line?
I'm actually a proponent of just getting rid of the conference championship game. I don't think it has any implications into the playoff, especially with the expansion. I think it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of a week. It's meaningless. Nobody cares. I'm anti
I mean, 41,000
conference
fans is
championship game.
bush league for a Power Five football game,
Yeah, I mean it's embarrassing.
don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
41,000 fans. I mean, that's terrible. Like that's a conference championship game. I don't have the other games, but I'm guessing the Big Ten has 60,000 people at it, 70,000 people at it, right?
I mean whatever Lucas Oil holds. Yeah, absolutely. We lost you.
I think I'm having some issues, but so can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Internet, I guess. So going like looking at the conference right now, you said you like betting SMU, you like betting Virginia, obviously fading some bad teams.
Yeah.
Um, what would be your early kind of teasers for who you think's gonna be in the championship game? Two teams gonna be in the championship. Once all said and done, and then we'll rip through the
Miami.
win loss records.
I think Miami. They'll get there this year. Bringing in Mensa from Duke, returning rusher, Tony's back, Fletcher's back. Like, I mean, they got the stars. It's the star power. It's the U. It's real. I'm buying what they're selling, and I think they're going to be back. I think they're going to be a complete monster. Also, they don't play SMU or Louisville this year, so they kind of have a little easier
Mm.
path. They got to go to Clemson. Don't really, don't really have any interest in that. Like, I think, I think Miami, outside of their tough non-conference games, I think they should just run the table in the ACC and get there. Um, and then I actually am really gonna buy. I'm an SMU fan, but I think Louisville is gonna get there. I'm big on Louisville this year. SMU they had their issues defensively last year. That kind of came up and haunted them in like big moments. And I do think Louisville plays a more sound style of football, and I think that they're going to be. They play SMU at home week 3, and that's like kind of going to be like if they can win that game, they'll get to play Miami in that championship game. So I think that's like a huge, huge thing for me.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of looking at the top half of this, and it's interesting because the win loss totals, it actually goes from Miami. I'm looking at BetMGM. Miami at 10.5, and then it just starts to drop down. SMU 8.5, Virginia 7.5, Pitt 7.5, Clemson 7.5. So I mean, everybody's got Miami. Um, but it seems like there's quite a lot of opportunity to make money. And if you think somebody's going to be a conference make it to the conference championship game, the win-loss totals don't seem very high. Like as far as what you can bet on, like everybody's in the 6.5, 7.5 range. So,
Yeah, I mean it's going to be there's
so let's just rip down from top to bottom. So BetMGM has Miami
it's tightly
ten and a
contested.
half. What's that?
It's going to be tightly contested all the way, from to the bottom. I mean, those bottom feeders obviously, but
Yeah. So 10.5. You like the over under win total for Miami.
I'm going to go over.
I'm gonna go over as well. I think when it's all said and done, they have a fairly easy schedule, I would say, comparatively to some of these other teams. Um, they got the juice. Uh, I don't think they're going to go undefeated just because that target's on your back, but
No,
getting to
they're
11,
gonna
I
they're
think,
gonna
is
lose. They're gonna
very in
lose to
play.
Notre Dame.
Yeah,
CJ Carr will win the Heisman this year.
yeah, I like that. We'll go 11. I'm going 11-1. All right, SMU 8.5 wins.
Hold on, I got to get their schedule here. I'm moving up.
You're good.
I get this.
I think they're going to go over. I actually, looking at this now, love 8.5 because I think they're going to win 10 or 11 games. Also, I honestly think that they have more experienced
Yeah, I got them.
quarterback
I got
play.
them winning. I got them winning 10 games. Just
Yeah.
all they'll
If
beat
this
Florida
is
State. I think they're going to lose at Louisville. I told you we talked about that earlier. I think that's a big game for that conference title game. Obviously Missouri State, Boston College. I think they'll get Virginia at home. Cal. I think Cal's going to be down. I know JKS. Everyone's high on him. I think Cal's just going to be down. Syracuse down as well. Jim Franklin down at Virginia Tech. I think they'll get him. The only games I got them losing right now is Louisville and Notre Dame. So I think 10-12 is very realistic for them. Or 10-2. I'm sorry, 10-2 is very realistic for them.
Yeah, I love that. I love betting that 8.5 because now you get to 9. I mean, they're easily getting to 9, in my opinion. They got the most experience. You kind of
Yeah,
like
like
you
you said,
said.
they could drop one of those other league games, and 100% still get the nine
Yeah,
for sure.
I do like Kevin Jennings at quarterback. I think the whole conference has pretty experienced quarterback play for the most part.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I mean
yeah,
they have. There's a lot of high caliber guys, even like Angeli and JKS at some of the Syracuse Cal lower schools. Mensa is obviously like going to be like a Heisman candidate. They paid a ton of money for him in Miami, and then Jennings, he's electric as well. So I mean, yeah, I think they all have a chance.
next is Virginia 7.5.
Virginia, yeah,
I think they can get to 8 wins again. I'm
I
gonna
do
go
think
over.
I do think they can get to 8 wins. I think this is kind of a soft schedule here. Um, they don't really draw any of the they don't have a Miami. They don't have they have they're at SMU, and they don't have so they're staying away from Miami and Louisville at the top there. So yeah, they can definitely get there, and that's another thing why covering spreads and stuff for sure. Who we got?
Pittsburgh 7.5.
Under. I did like Henschel last year. I thought he did a pretty good job. They were just we I was at the Notre Dame game in person. Just completely different level of athlete. I know we're talking ACC play, but they're really going to have to shore up. They're really going to have to figure it out, because if they don't, it's going to be a long season out that way.
Yeah, I'm putting them on like 5-6 win count. So I think that I'm definitely going to take an under, and
Good thing we're only
that's just
clipping.
what it
Good
is.
thing we're only clipping these for TikTok because
Dude, there's something off my internet, I think.
it's all right.
Well, I'm in my basement. That's part of the problem. I didn't realize it'd be so bad down here.
All right, what do we
Because
got?
nobody's watching live right now, that's for sure.
No, that's good,
Can't even watch live.
which is good.
Next on the board is Clemson 7.5.
All right, let's see what we got here on the schedule.
I generally, I
LSU.
generally, I genuinely hate Dabo Sweeney. I really just don't like him. I don't know him, but I don't like him. However, I think they got something to prove. I think they've been, as things have changed, they've been a little down. I do think when things kind of changed when Venables left for Oklahoma, I feel like they lost some juice. Um,
Yeah.
but
Um.
I do think that they will win over 7.5 games. I believe that they will come in with a little bit of a chip because they'll probably be unranked, I would imagine, right? Um, I think getting to 8, 9 wins. Now they do have a new quarterback, but their defense should be very good. Um, I'm
They're
gonna take the
actually
over.
they're having a there's a quarterback controversy in fall camp right now. There's a little bit of a competition with a true freshman, but I think they're gonna go Vizina for week one probably. But I don't love betting an over on a team that doesn't know who the true quarterback is either.
Very valid point. Very valid point. I think it just though in this day and age, like I don't look at that as a big of a negative as it used to be, just because it's NIL, it's transfer. Like there's so many moving parts now. Like everybody's figuring shit out on the fly. But I do agree with that. I mean it's tricky, but I'm gonna take them to, kind of beat up on their soft part of the schedule. I think that they have a potential. Um, I do think that if Notre Dame doesn't beat Miami, I think Clemson will because it's at Clemson, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one of those things where it's like, you know, I don't know what do you have the schedule up, a Clemson schedule, what week that game is?
Uh, week 5.
Okay.
Yeah, week 5,
So,
October.
and do you know when Miami plays Notre Dame? Is it before that, obviously?
Yeah. Oh shit. Um, me is no, it's not. That's actually later. That's that November 7th
Okay.
weekend, the best weekend in college football.
Gotcha. So did you have to officially Clemson on the over or the under?
Under.
Okay. NC State 7.5.
Let me get that pulled up here. I got to see the schedule.
I am going to ride the under. I think that they do a lot with a little there, which I love. I usually love guys that do more with less, but I just don't think that they're going to be right there. Like they're going to be a 6-win team. They'll probably make a bowl. I'm going to play them under. Um, like I said, they do more with less, and they've had some really great seasons where nobody expected them to, but they lost, they lost some starters. They kept their quarterback.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, they're gonna beat Richmond. They're gonna beat Appalachian State. They'll beat Wake Forest. They'll beat Stanford. But like I think but like they'll beat Syracuse probably. But like Cal, Duke, Virginia, Vanderbilt, Louisville, Florida State, North Carolina, it's all toss ups.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually is it the number you have 7.5 or 6.5?
It is 7.5 on BetMGM,
I'm
and I'm
actually
putting them
gonna
on a
go. Yeah, I'm
six-win
gonna I'm
team.
gonna go under. The quarterback's back. CJ Bailey. People are high on him, but you got to surround him with other guys. Also, like defensively, they had a ton of issues, and I don't really know if they kind of shored that up or not. So I'm just gonna go under as well.
Louisville 7.5.
Over, like I said, high on them this year. I think they're gonna get to the title game. Um, I just want to see one more thing.
I'll also take the over. I think easily they're an 8-win team or better.
Yeah, I mean they got a week one, they got a tough one with Ole Miss, but then um,
But they're gonna get they're gonna benefit from the softer part of the ACC. They also
no,
play
yeah, no Miami,
Villanova.
right?
They play Villanova. They play they do have a little bit of a tricky kind of potential trap at Kentucky. I know Kentucky's probably not going to be a team anybody's looking to bet, but at Kentucky, a little rivalry game could be a little trappy. But
Yeah, I mean I think
um,
they still get there. They're not going to beat Ole Miss. So they'll go one Villanova, two Wake Forest, three NC State. I don't.
Syracuse,
Yeah, Syracuse. That's
Stanford,
four, five,
5,
6, 7, 8.
North
Yeah, I got them at
Carolina,
8. I
Pitt.
got them getting
Yeah,
8. They'll get 8. They'll get 8.
yep. Um, I would you say Jeff Brom underrated?
Yeah, more with less. He's like one of those guys. Like he's not in like the best spots ever, but he does a good job where he's at. I think that's kind of like his mo.
Yeah. All right, I got Virginia Tech 6.5.
I'm gonna buy Franklin. I think the Franklin. I think the stage at Penn State was too big for him. I don't think where he's at now is like that. So I'm buying Franklin. I think he does kind of have like a little tougher setup here in the ACC. Like he's got Clemson, he's got SMU, he's got Miami, he's got Virginia. I mean, so he's got like a couple tough ones. His non-con is really, really easy. So I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think he'll get 8 wins. He's not going to beat
I'm
Clemson. He won't beat SMU. He won't beat Miami. He won't beat Virginia. And he's still going to get over and wins.
I am buying James Franklin. I think that when you just look at who he is, I believe he exited that whole situation without he probably could have been a huge dickhead,
Right.
and he just stayed. He just took the high you know took the high road on everything and got his next job, even though he got a probably massive buyout, and just coaches ball. And like he turned Penn State around when they were literally in like the biggest black eye you can be in. Like he
Right.
took it and rode them back to national respect without anybody ever talking about all the shit that happened right before it. Like he literally and at Vanderbilt, right? Like he just took a crappy program and turned it around. Like he's a program builder. So you can say what you want about him. I know a lot of Penn State fans, and the way they play, the style of play, like this, that, but like he just couldn't beat Ohio State. Like to be honest, like he just couldn't win the big ones. Like, but they were
Yeah.
always good. Like they were always good, and he's gonna do the same stuff. He's a ball coach. Like I'm buying him. I think that to your point, like now that he's not, the expectation won't be the same. Like he's
Yeah.
just gonna stack wins with Virginia Tech. They got great tradition. They got great fans. Like
No,
they
and
got a
there's already people saying like they think it's, this is the guy to get them back to, what Beamer had it
no
at.
question because he's a recruiter and he always crushes that Maryland area well, that DC DMV area well for Penn State. Now he's in Virginia. Like he's going to get those same kids, and it's not going to be an issue. Like Yeah, like they're not ready for Clemson, they're not ready for Miami, they're not ready for SMU, but like I mean, shoot, like again, their schedule is very favorable because they got a couple cupcakes, conference cupcakes, and then like at Cal, probably a tough trip. Um, we'll talk about Cal, but getting this. What I say was 6.5. So some
Yeah,
books have it at 7.5. BetMGM has it 6.5. I'd grab 6.5 over and run with it. I love
we
it.
have not
Georgia Tech.
we have not talked about the travel either and how that's not gone well going either way for those type of teams.
No,
Um, but we'll get into it when we get to a Cal or
no,
something like
not at
that.
all.
Yeah,
I had some points on that with Cal. Yeah. So Georgia Tech 6.5. Georgia Tech was surprisingly good last year. They, I think, outpaced where people thought they would be. They went 6-2 in conference, and they
right.
won 9 games overall,
Yeah,
which
I
got them
think they
pretty much
lost a
nothing. They
ton.
probably went to a shitty bowl, but still, that's a really good Georgia Tech season.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily high on them. I'm just saying they were very surprising last year, and they're actually a very good team to bet on, I believe. I think ATS wise, they were pretty solid.
Yeah, they
I'm gonna
were.
double check.
Haynes King
They
was
were seven
there.
and six ATS. That's really
Ton
good
of
in college football.
Yeah, Haynes King was amazing. He generated a lot of offense for that team. His performance against Colorado at the beginning of the year last year was phenomenal. To cover that spread, that's one of the games I'll never forget. Um, they did lose both their offensive and defensive coordinators too to bigger schools. They chased the money and they took it. They're bringing in Mendoza's brother Alberto to play quarterback. So if he was that good, I think Signetti probably would have tried to keep him. So I think we're probably going to lay off. And they do have a tough little non-con. Couple SEC teams on the higher end with Tennessee and Georgia. So I'm gonna probably go under the number with Georgia Tech.
The worst part about the Georgia Tech for me is I wrote my note here. I was like 6 or 7 wins, and I without looking at what the total was, and it's 6.5. So I guess
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
right
have to
there.
say, um, hmm. Well,
Listen,
let's
yeah,
see.
we'll just play the schedule game. We'll just play the schedule game.
Mercer, Stanford, Boston College, Wake Forest. That 4.
Okay, say they get Pitt, that's still five.
Colorado 5, Pitt 6.
I don't see it. I
Duke,
don't.
no, I don't know. Louisville, no. Yeah, I'm going under. I'm going to take under. Smart kids never win in football. So, all right, we got next. It's like the conference is huge now. Cal
Yeah,
six and
it's
a
just
half.
it's endless.
Cal 6.5.
JKS back. Yeah, JKS is back. A lot of guys love him. They love this team. UCLA, I don't think they have enough to beat a UCLA. That's a great week one game at 10:30 on the East Coast, by the way. Syracuse, so they're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go under.
I'm on the under as
I'm
well.
gonna
I
go
think they
under
can
for
get to
Cal.
6.
They
I think they can
got
get to six
they
wins,
got
but
the
that's a
tough trip.
stretch. They got the tough travel back to
They
the
got the
ACC
tough trip out to
country.
Clemson.
I mean, all
Oh,
their
I'm
trips
sorry,
to the
Clemson's at their place. That's tough.
all their trips are going to be tough when they
And
have
they
to play
actually
ACC
don't.
teams.
They don't. They actually are only going SMU, NC State, Virginia, in a row, which that's
That's loss,
brutal.
loss, loss.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm assuming you stay out here. I don't really know how that works. I'm curious to actually find out about that. Because why would you fly to Raleigh and then go back to NorCal and then go back to Virginia? Like, I think you probably stay, right?
I mean, nowadays with how much money's on the line, like, yeah, I don't know. School, they're not coming back to school.
No.
Do you like the quarterback?
First
He's
off,
the real
that
deal.
yeah. When we start getting into college basketball, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he's a talented
quarterback's
kid,
the
but
real
I just
deal.
like you said, smart kids never win. I don't. Yeah, he's a good player. He had a good freshman season. I mean, he can make some plays. Um, he is just surrounded by guys who probably aren't good enough.
Florida State 6.5, and this is where I start to get like this is again Miami, Florida, and Florida State good is good for college football. Why is Florida State not good? Why is Florida not that good anymore? Like, what is going on? Like, it actually pisses me off. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
they gotta be like
Norvell
we gotta pull up like
continues.
how much money everybody's spending. Like, I probably need to look and make sure that it's like, but I can't imagine they're not spending money.
Norvell continues to just hang around long enough.
He's got to get fired this year. He's my
What number
candidate
did
to
you?
get fired.
What number did you have?
6.5 on BetMGM.
I'd
I don't know if
probably
it's
go
different
under.
elsewhere.
Um, I saw six and I mean I saw. I'm sorry, I just saw five in line. New Mexico State, they should beat Law. They're going to lose to SMU and Alabama. They'll beat Central Arkansas,
Yep.
so that's two. Going to lose to Virginia. Going to lose to
Yep.
Louisville, Miami. I mean, they have, from what I've seen so far, they have the toughest ACC schedule of anybody. I mean, this is an absolute gauntlet. You want to go SMU, Alabama. I mean, obviously Alabama's not in the ACC, but you go SMU for an early league game week 2, and then you get Alabama, so you're going to get beat up. Then you get a little get back against Central Arkansas. Then you go right into Virginia. Then you go at Louisville, at Miami, Clemson at home, and
I
then
don't
you
even know if
kind
they
of
can
get
make
a
a bowl
breather with
game.
Boston College. Yeah, I mean that is for a coach that's trying to avoid getting fired. That is
Not a
the
good
worst
draw, yeah.
draw probably I've ever seen. So good luck to Mike Norvell
Now,
this year, but
will they beat Florida?
uh, no, I
Then
am
they're
buying
definitely not making a
Summerall.
bowl.
I'm buying Summerall. I'm all in. I was watching a lot of his stuff this week. I'm a Summerall guy. Can't wait till we get to the SEC, obviously, when we talk about it, because I'm all in.
So, unfortunately, Mike Norvell's getting fired this year.
Yeah,
We go,
it was. You heard it here first.
yeah, breaking news.
Yeah,
This will be what gets us over the top. We had the story first.
yeah,
Wake Forest 5.5 wins. More smart kids.
but program hasn't been the same since Sam Hartman left. Um, they're gonna get Akron, everyone's favorite whipping stick. Purdue, no chance. Miami, Louisville. I mean, that's just going Miami, Louisville back to back is just really tough. Um, they do have a little soft.
I'm way
They get
under on Wake Forest.
yeah. I'm
Three,
only
four
seeing
wins
one.
is where I'm at.
Yeah, I'd probably
It's
I'd probably get you at 4.
great.
Um, I think I could ride with that. Um, I think they're probably going to do a better job than they did last year. But I do think they're going to hang around, but probably not. Probably going to go under on the wins.
Duke 5.5, probably similar realm. Um, I'm gonna go under. Last year was crazy. It was amazing for them. That they made the ACC championship and won it in overtime. But
I got a crazy stat right here. I'm just reading. They won the ACC for the first time since 1989, and they were outgained on the season.
wow, that's incredible.
So, and they lost
That's
their
actually
stud quarterback to an in-league opponent.
yeah,
So I'm gonna go under 5.5.
yeah, I am as well. Um, They got to go to Miami. Uh, they play. I mean, they play Tulane, Stanford, William and Mary. Like, there's 3 wins. Boston College 4. Probably Wake Forest
Tulane?
5. But yeah, it's not. You're right. That's not even. It's not. I mean, it's a trap game.
I mean, I know they
But
lost
okay,
to
so we got
everybody
Stanford,
because they were
William
so good
Mary,
last year.
Boston College is 3. Wake Forest is 4. I'm. I mean, if the number is 5.5, I guess I could be talked into 6 wins, but I just don't see it happening. I think like you just said, like Tulane could be a trap. So Stanford, William Mary, Boston College, Wake Forest, that's 4. They're not beating Clemson. They're not beating Virginia. They're not beating North Carolina. Maybe. I'm gonna ride the under. I'm gonna ride
Perfect.
the under with you. We're getting in the bottom of the barrel here. Here's your boy, North Carolina, led by Bill Belichick.
Uh, I am selling Bill. I'm going under. You have 5.5 or 4.5.
BetMGM has 4.5.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
let's play
had
the
him listed
schedule
at
game.
5. I put 5 wins down in my notes. So I was gonna say under, but then I just counted. I just looked at my notes. I got 5 wins, which I guess if I'm betting 4.5, I'm taking the over.
I mean, they were just so bad last year. Um, just the noise around the program with all the different things and his life and
They
his
got that hottie
stuff.
walking the sidelines. Yeah,
Yeah,
what a distraction.
yeah, I don't know. He should probably like do something
Well,
else, but
they also have Bobby Petrino now.
yeah, I
Bobby
mean,
Petrino's the offensive coordinator.
yeah, I'd probably still. The only reason I'm kind of interested is like, okay, they steal one and get to 5 or 6 wins.
Well, like play the schedule game. So Eastern Tennessee State,
One,
UConn,
two. Okay, so you just read the whole schedule and
Duke,
only saw two. Yeah,
Duke,
mate. Yeah, so
maybe
3. So you still need 2 more. Syracuse is
Syracuse.
like I like Fran Brown. I like Angeli, but I don't know. It's a toss up. I'd love to see the line. I'd love to get there. Again, this is why I really don't play futures. I don't like to tie
Yeah,
my money up that long. I'm more of a see my money in a couple hours
yeah.
kind of person. So, but gun to head, I would go under just based off of the schedule and just my own personal thoughts on them.
I'm gonna just go over because I gotta stick with where I said 5 wins. I don't know why I said 5 wins because I don't like that at all, but I'm gonna stay over. Uh, we can get into some good ones now. Syracuse. I'm just going straight under 4.5.
Yeah, we can go
Thoughts on
rapid fire
Syracuse
here.
football?
Angeli's back. You know, I probably would go under as well.
Stanford 3.5. I'm on the maybe win 2 games, so I'm on
Like
the
I
under.
said, they're on a different coach again. They just can't get it figured out up there. I don't know why. I mean, they should be just paying everyone to go there. I mean, they'll probably lose to Timmy Chang in Hawaii on week 1. I mean, that's probably like something that I'd be interested in betting. I'm going to see if I can pull a line. Yeah, you can get Hawaii +4 right now. I mean, I'd probably take that. It's actually moving,
Where's the
and
game?
it's at Stanford. But
Okay.
still, I like it.
Boston. I'm on. Yeah, nothing about Stanford. I'm on the under. Boston College 3.5. I'm on the under. If Boston College wins a game, that's great, but that's probably the most they're going to be able to get.
They'll beat
Is
Maine.
it Bill O'Brien? Bill
Yeah,
O'Brien's the coach.
Billy
Yeah.
Ob. Yeah, I mean, so you're looking at them beating Maine and then hopefully catching, like a Duke or a Pitt sleeping, or Syracuse. Like other than that, like yeah, I would go under. The line's
So
2.5 or three and a half?
crazy though. For theirs was 3.5 on MGM. There's no way. I just don't see it. However, they were 6-6 ATS last year.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. You'll see some big lines that they should be able to cover.
Um, so do you have a candidate like my I already said my candidate to get fired first out of the conference is Norvell. Is there anybody else that's
Uh,
on the hot seat?
hot seat? No. Yeah, I mean maybe
NC
Bill
State,
O'Brien.
maybe.
Uh,
Well, didn't he just get
no.
there? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would say maybe just Bill O'Brien. Um,
Yeah.
other than that, no, I think that's
Do
it.
you have so we kind of talked about your favorite so your favorite team to bet right off the rip is going to be SMU.
Yeah, I
Um
and like we haven't gotten into that yet, but uh, first half overs, first half totals,
yeah.
team totals, teams that just light up the scoreboard and like no matter what happens on the field, they are going to put points on the board. They might not be able to stop, somebody, but if they can put points on the board, they're kind of like a sure thing. And like that, I have no problem. Like Kevin Jennings is going to produce 3 touchdowns. So is it through the air with his legs or, getting guys into scoring position? Yeah. So that's a team like, I'm going to bet on heavily. They're probably not going to cover spreads because their defense is not, where it's supposed to be or where they want it to be. But, like as we get in, like progress into the season, um, team totals, first half overs, first half totals, even like quarter bets. Like college football is like where you can really like catch the bookie sleeping on a first quarter, spread or a first quarter total. If you're getting, SMU and let me pull up their schedule here. If you're getting SMU and Florida State and the first quarter is 10, I mean, it could be 14 nothing SMU, like quick off the rip. So that's something that just, very is interesting to me.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to be most interested in is probably seeing where I can bet like James Franklin on the road. Like those would be like I think he's gonna be one of those guys that like they're gonna be in those low scoring dogfights still. I'm gonna probably look at to bet them when they're road dogs, depending on where it's at, who they're playing pretty often.
Right.
Um, I think that covers our wrap. Do you have we kind of talked about favorites. Do you have like a sleeper, like if things fall their way, they could win the championship? Is that Louisville for you?
Yeah. 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 I'm a Braun believer. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would say my like sleeper to make the championship game. Um, I mean, I guess I'm kind of riding that James Franklin thing. I don't think that's like actually going to happen, but if we're talking about sleeper,
Yeah.
and then Clemson, like I think Clemson to me is like they're going to be going in with like probably as little hype as they've ever had in like quite
yeah.
a few years
Dabo might
because
do
of
better in the
Miami, because
underdog role.
SMU. Yeah, like I think last year was like definitely humbling with them being kind of on the outside of everything pretty much the whole season. I mean, I feel like they were never really in contention, were they? They got behind the eight ball early and they ended up finishing they finished 4-4 in conference, 7-6 overall, so I think they could sneak up on some people, but that's our wrap. We'll do a ACC championship pick show when we do all the conference championship picks down the
Yeah.
road. I got to vent real quick. So like before we rip our baseball picks real quick, because I know we've been on for a minute, but I'm like upstairs earlier, like trying to like dial in for the show, and my wife just starts like bitching at me about the fucking vacuum cleaner, the vacuum, and she's like, "Do you know?" She's like, "How'd all this liquid get in the vacuum? It was like all messed up," and it's like, I don't even know how to use the vacuum. I've never used our vacuum once. Like, I'm not saying I don't help clean. Like, I do the dishes almost always. But I haven't used. We got a vacuum for our wedding, like a really expensive one, like one of those $500 like Bissell like wand ones. I don't use it, and she's like coming at me like I did something to it. And I'm like, I literally. She's like, I was heated. She was like coming at me, and I'm like, at 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night, she's yelling at me about the vacuum. Like,
Just
can this
another day
not
in the
like
life of a
wait, or
professional
just can we talk?
handicapper.
Can, can we talk civilly about it? Like, I mean, coming at me, knowing goddamn well that I don't touch the vacuum, but it got me off, man. So baseball's been good. We're doing great. We just got to keep ripping our picks. People eventually are gonna have to bet them because they're too damn good. But
I
going
agree.
into tomorrow, I'll say I'll just come out with it. Like I looked at the card. There's a lot of games that I'm like, oh, I like this side, but I don't love it. So I'm just gonna stick with what I love. My play of the day: Dodgers at Mets. I mean, I'll just say that's a two diamond right off the rip. Like that's the kind of game that like the Mets have no business winning. The Dodgers, have stayed out on the East Coast. They're back in New York. They went New York, Philly, New York. Um, what I what I love is they're going up against a lefty and they're going up against a lefty that they've just absolutely tattooed. Like lifetime 678 slugging average and 160 at bats. So I might look into the team total over when it comes out as well. But that's my play of the day. Um, I have two others. If you got
I
like a
got
play of the
mine.
day first, yeah,
Mine's Brewers minus 1.5. It's 260 on the money line, and 1.5 is uh almost even money at minus 102. Um, so I'm just going Brewers, way better team than the Rockies. Um, Little discrepancy there on the price, just based off money line versus 1.5. So, just take the, Brewers, Brewers 10, Rockies 4. We'll take that to the window all day. That's like a three diamond play for me.
I love that. Just for those who are stat nerds like me, if it's is it do you see the pitching matchup projected?
Yeah,
Is it Shane Drowan?
Drohan.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so not a lot of data, but Rocky's lifetime average 250. Nothing exciting about that. Um, I love that play. I support that. I I as a Cleveland Guardians fan, I love this play. I have to bet Tampa Bay tomorrow. I think Tampa at home, Guardians on the road. Um, I love the matchup for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. We've been talking about them a lot, but um, if it's Shane McClanahan, I love that for Tampa. So I'm gonna ride
Right.
that as my 5-star play. I got two 5-star plays. That's my first. The second is going to be the over in the Diamondbacks and Nationals game.
Okay.
Just to tease that for you. Both of those teams pound the baseball and score a lot of runs. Um, there's no weather issues. But the guys that they're throwing, I know the national starter. Um, I believe it's going to be Palmquist. Maybe if you can double check that. I think he's got like
Yeah.
an
I
eight
yeah.
something ERA.
Yeah. Rodriguez. Yeah.
Has
He's
a good
eight
ERA.
seven four.
He's got a
Yeah.
good ERA, right? However, the Nationals lifetime 41 plate appearances, 454 slugging against him. Good enough for me. Um, the Nationals are
Dangerous
a great
bats.
roster.
They have
Yeah,
dangerous bats for sure.
I mean, like if you just look at like like I wanted to play just the Diamondbacks total, but then I was like, I think that 9.5 seems really low for these offenses. Just kind of ripping back the last few games. So if you go here's the Diamondbacks. They scored 10 at the Cardinals. They scored 15 against the A's, 6 against the A's, 2 against the A's, and 8 against the Cardinals. So over the last 5 games, they've scored 31, 33, 41 runs in 5 games. And then on the Nationals side, they scored. Now they were at Coors, but and the A's, which are but they've scored in the last 5 games. They've scored 15, 22, 27, 28 runs. So, both teams are averaging 5, 6, 7 runs a game. Bad pitcher coming out of the Nationals. That's where I'm at. I'm living with it. That's a 3-0 card right there.
All right, I like it. I'm only on one baseball.
You got anything
plan.
else?
I'll probably tail. No, I'm on the Brewers. That's an early one, so we'll kind of see where we stand. And if that's going the way that we want it to go, I'll probably put. I'll go Tampa with you as well. I had Tampa today, and it didn't go the way.
It's baseball. You just gotta keep going every day. You keep coming back every day. It's because it's the law of averages, up and down, 100%. Up and down. But you know what tomorrow is? Friday.
It's the weekend, Johnny.
It's the freaking weekend. It's the freaking weekend, and I cannot wait for it because, dude, it's summertime. It's July still. Nothing like late July baseball, but we got our football in. You got anything else?
We're good.
This is the first After Dark. I love After Dark. Actually,
it's like Pac-12.
It's a good slot for us.
This could be good during basketball season.
We just need the name though. We got to find the name.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna get some clips for TikTok tomorrow, and then we'll get it rolling.
Yeah, you got to build that following. Do we need to do Twitter too?
Yeah, probably. Once we got to get a name, because then it's just the show.
Yeah, we need a name. Yep, I love it.
All right,
we'll have some good clips.
You got to end the show.